for
You Should Know This Song.
Yeah.
That was pretty cheesy.
Yeah, that was great.
Hey, welcome back. We are Mixtapes.
I imagine us in sequined suits.
Really?
With some sort of shiny stage with bright lights on it, introducing, and a glittery curtain that pulls back.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, and then the band off to the always the right-hand side. Why is the band never on the left-hand side?
You mean stage right or house right? It's on house right.
House right.
Yeah. I agree.
Why is it always on the right side?
Well, if it's house right, it's stage left.
Okay, we are Reed and Race, the Mixtapes, and that is a question for the ages, folks.
Because you would think that it would be to where the host could use his right arm to gesture.
Yeah,
right? Because most people
weird.
are right-handed. I mean, unlike
right.
me, but most people are right-handed.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I never thought about
But
that
that
until
is the
just
thing.
this
Yeah,
moment.
see,
There's an interesting wiki hunt,
and there's
there.
probably a reason.
Yes, there got to be some legitimate reason.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that BS. Let's do some other BS.
Let's do You Should Know This Song and get on with entertaining our anxiously awaiting, drooling, fervent fans and crowd.
By the way, that was that whole little segment there about the why is that way. That was a peek into what it's like to live in my head or in Reed's head.
Yes.
That's pretty much how we think all the fucking time.
It just occurred. It just popped up.
It's not squirrel. It's an actual stampede of squirrels wearing cat uniforms.
There's a
in armor.
There's virtually an oak grove, and there are 6 squirrels on every tree in the oak grove, and they're constantly trying to get our attention.
Okay, moving on.
Yes, moving on to thanking you all for being here and tuning in and listening and being part of our largely bullshit, but also commentary, song lyric challenge
thing that we do.
Rock and roll music, history, factoids thing that we do, yes.
We actually tend to get a couple of real factoids in on everything.
We do manage
on every
to get
episode.
The occasional accurate, interesting story.
Yeah.
And you can tell that because if they were inaccurate, they'd be way more interesting.
Probably.
We could come up with some things like we just opened the show with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
maybe there's a different show that would be more popular in our just wild ADHD.
Yeah.
It's probably
more
not the
popular
case.
amongst us, perhaps, but
Yeah, more enjoyable.
I think we have
Less constrained.
a little bit of nest keeping. I'm trying to keep you moving here.
I know.
I think we have a little bit of nest keeping to do before we get to our segment, and we are doing a BEAN ENCHILADAZ segment for this episode.
Yes. I think I brought this into the conversation and talked about it for a while. The band formed prior to Taylor Hawkins, the drummer of the Foo Fighters, passing, a project with Dave Navarro and Chris Chaney, and I could not remember A, Chris Chaney, and B, what the 3-letter anagram for the band is, and it's NHC is the name of the band, and there again is a new album to be rolled out, I think, in September. Maybe, but there was still some iffiness about what I read. So anytime soon, I'm pretty sure that it's coming out in 2024. And heads up for it and let it go. But I wanted to get the name of the band right because I could not figure it out.
Maybe if you'd known that it was Chris Chaney, you could have got all 3 letters.
Yeah, probably I would have.
There you go.
I would have gotten it.
And then again, we talked again in a recent episode about a tune called "High Heeled Sneakers."
Yeah, from the Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
Professor.
That was done 100 years ago, not 100 years ago, but done 60 or 70 years ago, back in the early 50s, and it was quite a hit.
And covered by a number of artists.
And one of the questions that came up was it covered by Little Richard?
Which seemed like it should have been, like it's in his wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
And it was in the period, really popular in his heyday.
And he did not, apparently, do a cover that we can find on recording, and he doesn't appear to have done it live due to a little bit of research that we both did. However, it was covered by Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
The Killer. That was weird. That was Christopher Walken talking about Jerry Lee Lewis there.
It was done by Jerry Lee Lewis.
The Killer. Yeah.
The Killer.
That was really strange. I'm sorry. I'm channeling. And my thought, trying to defend myself for getting it wrong, as it were, there are some real similarities to the music of Jerry Lee Lewis and Little Richard.
Yeah,
they
certainly
both played
performing
over-the-top piano. They
yeah.
both performed well over the top. They were both very popular during the same period.
They broke a lot of piano benches.
Yes, they did. Kicking them away.
Yes.
And a lot of norms for both entertainers at the time. They broke a lot of norms.
Oh,
They were both
yes.
way out there
Yeah.
for the time. That was really restrictive with regard to personal behavior. So
Yeah.
all that being said,
obviously on Little Richard's part, black musicians, he broke down
Yes,
So huge.
yes. And by the way,
barriers.
as far as I'm concerned, no disrespect to Elvis Presley, but Little Richard is the king of rock and roll.
I wouldn't disagree with that for one
Okay,
second.
and
I
I'm
have
sure
no
it's, you know,
argument.
now if you want to, apparently now we're going to get response because the response is going to be, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Elvis, you dare talk
Yes, but
Elvis? Yeah.
go do a little research, kids.
Oh my gosh,
Little Richard is the king of rock and roll.
Yeah, he was something. He was something, and what a hard-working
Man.
musician.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow! I was a little kid, and I'm aware of how
You know, his father kicked him out of the house when he was 13
busy he was. How just intensely
because of
performed.
his quote unquote homosexual tendencies.
Yeah.
His father said, you can't live here anymore."
Yeah.
And he went and moved in with a white family that happened to get him into entertaining. And thank you, Dad.
There's another story.
Thanks, Dad.
Right.
Appreciate that.
There's another story to drill down into.
All right.
Okay, so we are going to do some bean enchiladas. We're going to go ahead and have lunch. It's about lunchtime today anyway, and a bean enchilada kind of sounds good to me. So why don't I get started? How about that?
Why
I'm
don't
gonna
you
I'm
get
gonna
started,
volunteer-
Reed? I'm tired of waiting for you.
I'm going to volunteer to embarrass myself first because embarrassment is not something I know. By the way, what you're hearing is the hot Midwestern actual outdoors of Races Oasis in beautiful downtown Wentzville, and the cicadas have just a couple minutes ago started adding to the background noise of the fan and my gastrointestinal issues and all that stuff. So if you're wondering why is this so noisy, you know.
Yeah, it's
We're outside,
it's real
folks.
stuff. We're outside.
Yeah, it's real deal. Okay, so this is a little bit of a lay down bean enchilada. The reason that I'm doing it is because I kind of added some to it for my own enjoyment. Let's
Yeah,
just
that's what
face
for,
it,
yeah,
for my
yeah,
own
yeah.
enjoyment. So here's the first part. I'm sure you'll get it,
I'm feeding lost vagrants.
which I'm sure you know.
Is leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las
Sheryl
Vegas.
Crow, right?
The Sheryl Crow song.
There you go.
But the chorus to the song, she says, "I'm leaving Las Vegas," and then she speaks a few words, and the first set of those words is "Lights so bright."
Brain lock.
I totally locked it on a Saturday night. Wow. I super know this
Oh,
song.
I want to leave this in. Like, you should see his face. He's like, why can't I remember these lyrics? I just did this.
Card something blackjack on a Saturday night. Leaving Las Vegas. I'm trying not to spend time trying to figure it out. Lights so bright. Palms sweating blackjack on a Saturday night. Damn, I know that song really thoroughly.
Apparently not.
So after the
Leaving Las Vegas line.
she speaks several words, and the first entry is lights so bright, palms sweating like blackjack, or palms sweating and blackjack on a Saturday night. So what came into my head when I thought about this song's a pretty common bean enchilada. I mean, people turn the leaving Las Vegas into a whole lot of things, and most commonly I'm feeding lost vagrants. So feeding lost vagrants. Rice so white, salt and pepper, and a sip of Miller Lite is what I came up with after that. So I would like to invite everybody out there in Apes Land to continue and turn the entire song into a bean enchilada. So submit your bean enchilada lyrics to the show, and we'll put them on the air. We'll do your bean enchilada to an easy one, Sheryl Crow's "Leaving Las Vegas," and we'll have some fun with it together. Come on.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. That was "Leaving Las Vegas," Sheryl Crow, written by Sheryl Crow, Gilbert Burwald, David Ricketts, Bill Bottrell, and Kevin Gilbert. That is from 1993 off of Tuesday Night Music Club. There, I got the respect out of the way. And it's time to move on to something not ridiculous, right, Race?
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I've got one for you. Here's your enchilada.
My plate has this to eat. I'm going to scold the ham. That's got to be, I'm going to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. I want to scold your ham, the ham. What would that consist of, scolding the ham? How, would you spank it?
I have.
Would you?
I got nothing there.
Are you just going to talk bad to it and wag your finger?
I don't know how you would scold a ham, but you're not expecting me to actually make sense out of these lyrics, right? That is "I Want to Hold Your Hand," the correct song lyric, and the song of the same name.
Yes.
By
Yes.
the Beatles, 1963. Obviously, Lennon and McCartney. It was released as a single.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Added to a greatest hits later, but that's it. Did not know this. Okay, you ready?
Whatever you got there, cheese.
Open wide,
Watch
because you're about to eat bean enchilada, baby. Go.
Paul might know. Maybe if you call right now. Paul might know. Maybe if you call right now. Well, maybe is baby. No, I don't have it. What is it?
Well, the name that's included in there is kind of a clue to the singer.
Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
Paul Rogers, All Right Now by Free.
All right now. All right now. Maybe if you call right now. There you go.
Maybe if you call right now. Okay, that's a little bit of a weird one even for me, I admit.
Oh,
but,
no, not at all.
You know, but
That's pretty much who you are,
but I had
right?
to throw it in there. Free, Paul Rogers wrote that song in 1970. It was released on Fire and Water, and the song Fire and Water, whew, let me at it. Oh, now would it be on the playlist?
Oh, there you go.
I just did that. Okay, give me one that's better than that, please.
Here you go.
We're going to know this one, aren't we, folks? The Sheep Don't Like It, Rotten Hat Box. Rotten Hat Box. The sheep want a fresh hat box, farm
Absolutely.
fresh. They do not want to eat a rotten hat box, folks. So try to keep your hat box fresh. Put some desiccant in there, that kind of thing. I don't know what that would do to sheep, though. The sheep don't like it. I can just see the sheep
Walking away from the hat
yelling, rotten hat box.
box.
Spitting it out.
Rotten hat box. Okay, so that is
The Clash.
The Clash, Rockin' the Casbah, or Rock the Casbah.
Rock the Casbah.
The correct lyric is Sharif Don't Like It, Rockin' the Casbah. Topper Headin', Joe Sturmer, Mick Jones, 1982, Combat Rock, name of the album.
Well, it's a good real song to have in your head, even if the bean enchilada is not
Edible?
edible. Digestible.
Digestible, yeah.
Okay, for you, sir. This one may not get guessed very easily.
Well, imagine that. Something that you pulled out of your own broken head that nobody else could figure out.
Let's see, give this a shot.
All I want is a BLT.
And I got a second part because
Yeah,
this is
give me
another
that.
one of those song choruses that they do sort of the main line of the chorus, and then there's a second part the lead singer sings. All part of the chorus, but
Sure. All I want is a BLT, grilled on toast with a vanilla shake. Why does that make absolutely no sense to me at all?
well, maybe it'll be entertaining if I say it's All I Want by Toad the Wet Sprocket.
All I want is to feel this way,
Yeah.
to be here close, to feel the same.
Yes.
Isn't that the correct lyric? Yeah, no.
All I want is a BLT, grilled on toast with vanilla shake. Oh, come on.
That's a great tune, and it's on the playlist now.
It's a
But
great
this was
tune.
a lame ass
Oh,
enchilada.
Come on. It was a great, awful bean enchilada. They're supposed to be awful.
That
Back
is
me
true.
up, people.
That
Back
is
me
true.
up.
That is true. They are awful.
They're supposed to
And
be awful, and that
fortunately, you do keep that.
And I met the bar. I met the bar.
Yeah.
I met the
That's
awful
kind of
bar.
where I was going. Is that you make sure that awful occurs.
It's the Awful Apes part of our program.
All right. So
Okay, let's see if you can. Oh, wait a minute. That was
Yeah.
written by Randall S. Gus and Richard Phillips, Todd Nichols, and Glenn Dean Dinning from the 1991 album Fear.
that
Toad the Wet Sprocket.
I was a Toad fan when they were hot. I was very much into that
Yeah,
band.
yeah.
And we did discuss the fact that Toad the Wet Sprocket is actually a Monty Python reference.
Yes, we did.
And that there was a band called Toad before there was a band called
before
Toad.
there was a band called Toad.
Yeah. How fucking weird.
A band called Toad should be the name of a band now.
Like a band called Horse is the name of a movie.
Yes.
I got one for you here. Eat
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Throw it up, as it were. How about been 40 days since I stole your pen last night in Little Rock? This is Grand Funk, is it not?
Nope.
40 days. Oh, wait a minute. 40 days since I don't know when. Since I stole your pen.
You know the
It's
song.
dun,
Yep, that's the song.
14 days since I don't know when. What? Come on,
I
chorus.
just saw her with my best friend.
Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
That's an awesome song.
Yeah, Lee
40,
Michaels,
40 days since I stole your pen.
1971.
And then what happened? What did she do?
I have no idea. She probably, I'm not even going there.
Yeah.
Lee Michaels, 1971, the album called Fifth, 5TH.
Yeah.
And Lee Michaels, man, I don't know what genre you'd put him in, but he fucking rocked it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
You know?
He's
It's kind of R&B-ish. It's kind of rock and roll-ish.
Right.
Almost a little blues-ish, you know?
He didn't fit, but he should have fit. He should have been more recognized than he was.
Absolutely. So,
40 days since I stole your pen. I'm going to write the rest of that because I
sure.
want to know what happened after that. It's not he
Damn it
just
to
saw
hell.
her with his best friend. It's something about how it ran out of ink or something. Okay, it's for me. That means you get this.
well, I bar hopped 500 times.
You got to get that one. Think of it sung very staccato.
Well, I would walk 500 miles.
Right.
500 miles, name of the song.
And there's the second lyric.
And I window shopped 500. Well, I bar hopped 500 times.
And
I
window shop 500 more. And I could write the rest of that also.
Yes,
if you would
unfortunately.
like. Yeah, so that was the Proclaimers,
500
yes.
miles.
I'm going to be 500 miles in parentheses.
So that was me naming it wrong.
Well, it's in everything I saw referenced.
Both.
Both.
Okay.
Whether or not it's on, an official album that way, I don't know.
Sure.
Craig Reed and Charlie Reed both spelled their last name the same as my first name, out of respect for me, and I appreciate that. 1988, off of Sunshine on Leith.
Spell that Leith thing.
Leith.
Okay. I wonder if that's a lake or something.
Yeah.
A place,
Didn't look it up. I was curious about it at the time.
I'm sure
And
you
of
were,
course,
and you
a
could have
squirrel.
spent 2 hours finding it
squirrel
out.
happened.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
So
More
I've
fun.
got one for you.
Not morphine, more fun. Here comes something I'm certain to stumble over. All right, let me wipe my mouth with my napkin before I get into this. I can drink beer free now. Lorraine has gone. I can drink beer free now. Wait a minute, how would that fit?
Lorraine has gone.
Yeah. I can drink beer free now. Lorraine has gone. It's going to be a drunk, sunshiny day. We can go with sunshiny day. Yeah, I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Yes.
I can see clearly.
I Can See Clearly Now is the name of the song.
The name of the song, yes.
Johnny Nash was the writer and the performer. 1972. That went to number 1.
I think I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
a huge hit.
We were both about to say it. I stopped. I didn't say it in tandem with you. But it was a huge hit.
And apparently Jimmy Cliff does a cover of that, which I have not listened to, but now will be in the playlist.
Now will be in the playlist. There are lots of covers of that song also. I can drink beer free now. Lorraine has gone. I like it. I guess Lorraine is his overly burdensome girlfriend.
Or the landlady. For
all we know. Or he calls his mom by the first name.
Could be one of those.
Are you ready?
Yeah, give it up. What do you got?
I think this is a little better quality, but I'm not sure that it's going to be very easy to get.
So these enchiladas were inspected.
Yes, inspected for quality by food inspector.
Take them to the old well at the, I'm assuming that's supposed to be barnyard. It says barnyard.
Yeah, barnyard.
Take them to the old well at the barnyard.
And again, think of it sort of sung in a staccato, spacing between the words and what have you.
And the second line is, there's a can of mace, spray them in the face.
Take them to the old well in the barnyard.
Really? That's,
There's a can of mace, spray them in the face.
Yeah, so
you're welcome.
When I explain to people what the show is, I always use Hotel California.
Yeah.
I don't use that line, but I always say, if I said dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, what does that mean to you? And they usually look at me and go like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right. But that's how I try to explain what the concept of the show is. And I could never have come up with this in a million years. Take them to the old well at the barnyard.
That would have had to have... The only way that you really could have put that together is if the spacing of the phrasing when it's sung, got into your head the right way.
Right. No, that's a good one. It certainly doesn't surprise me that you created it.
Hotel California is the song. The Eagles, of course. Glenn Lewis Fry, Don Felder, Don Hugh Henley, the responsible parties for writing it. 1976, album of the same name, Hotel California. That was fun for me.
All right, well, here's one for you.
Okay, what do you got? I'm begging you for a little sip of tea, a little sympathy. That's a good one. Sip of tea, sympathy. I'm begging you for a little sympathy. I can't get the I'm begging you part. Are those the original words? I'm not getting it.
Those are the original words.
I'm begging you for a little sympathy.
Yeah.
What's the song?
And if you use me again, it'll be the end of me.
Oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's Fleetwood Mac, Say You Love Me.
Oh.
How did you not know that?
Yeah, wow.
I'm going to have to get a new ape.
That did not ring in my head at all. Like, it just didn't...
All I changed was sympathy into sip of tea. Everything else was exactly...
Everything else was the same.
Yes.
Nice.
But the lyric is deep enough in the song that I didn't think it would be something that was so recognizable you'd
Such
fall
an easy
over it. So.
Right. Well, that's a good add to the playlist for sure. Give me my propers.
It is Say You Love Me, Fleetwood Mac's, written by Christine McVie, 1976, on the album Fleetwood Mac. Not their first album, their 93rd or whatever, but
right.
It was the first of that particular iteration.
Yes.
And
of the band.
The little bit that I read about it, without throwing aspersions on anyone, it appears to be her writing relative to her husband, John McVie.
Yeah. Okay, good one to have on the list, like I said. Okay, the next one, I don't know how to not do this, so I'm kind of going to beat you to death with it, but it'll pretty much ensure that you get the clue. Here you go.
Spleen explosion, squeeze some lotion, clean the corrosion, sneeze explosion, scream emoji, green Trojans, dream of toe jam, queen of pole dance.
So they're all different bean enchilada
For the same
versions
phrase.
of the same phrase, which I'm certain you can get. Any one of them.
No, I think perhaps you overloaded me here, and
Spleen explosion.
Sweet emotion, obviously.
Sweet emotion.
only because you sang it.
Squeeze some lotion. Clean the corrosion.
What that means is you just have too much fucking time on your hands.
I do. My brain started on that and then was like, oh, this could be, or you could put that. And as I was typing one, another one just popped into my head, and I wrote them all down. And I was like, okay, you have to stop. Okay, just do them all. So that was Sweet Emotion, Aerosmith, of course, written by Steven Tyler and Tom Hamilton from the 1975 album Toys in the Attic.
Toys
One of my favorite Aerosmith albums and albums
Toys
of all time.
in the Attic.
I have talked about. Okay, you got one more?
I got one more of these.
One more bean enchilada.
And this one is so easy. Your
Yay.
mother should know it.
Yay! I get an easy one. Well, I guess I shouldn't assume. I'm laughing because the clue is I've got 2 chickens to paralyze. I've got 2 chickens to paralyze. This is not an ASPCA song. It's obviously not. Oh my gosh.
And you're writing the rest of it in your head right now.
I'm writing the rest of the lyric because that's a great start. I gotta say, that's a great start right there. That's 2 tickets to paralyze. I can't get the word paralyzed out of my head. 2 tickets to paradise by our buddy Eddie Money.
Eddie Mahoney, baby.
And
Written by, sung by, and name of the album is Eddie Money.
Yeah.
1978, his shot to the top, as it were.
Yeah. A lot of straight up hits right away. And
Apparently he was a New York cop before he was
a New York
Eddie
cop.
Money.
Yeah. He was, the story I heard loosely was, he was playing in a band and he submitted a demo.
And it took off.
And the producer, whose name is escaping me, this super famous guy, it got his attention. He was like, this is pretty good. Come on. It kind of has the appearance. I didn't read into it thoroughly, but his story kind of has the appearance of like a pretty quickly got recognition and success guy. You know what I mean? And a musical effort. In specific regard to, putting together a demo, a really solid demo that obviously...
Yeah.
skyrocketed him and getting it in front of and then getting recognition by it went
so the producer that you're talking about is Bill Graham.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that is your last shot, and here's my last shot. And again, I'm going to take a chance on overwhelming you.
Imagine that.
This is the first part of the chorus
or the
lyric. First part of the chorus lyric.
Can't ball on Tuesday, I won't have a ball. Okay, what
and
else
the
you
other
got?
thing that might finish putting it together, you got to emphasize Tuesday.
The second clue is, but if we wait till Fridays, I'll have it all under control. No, it's nothing. What is it?
Hold on loosely.
God.
Hold on loosely.
Can't ball on Tuesday.
But don't let go.
Yeah.
But if we wait till Fridays, I'll have it all in control. Okay, so the other version of that, if I may indulge myself, and I may, that I was going to give you is this.
It's a long, long news day. Hope I don't get trolled. And I'm losing my mind with all the fake news shows.
So you could write the rest of either one of those.
Either one of those.
One about bowling and one about being a news guy. So again, I invite anybody out there on any of these, not just mine, to finish the spoof song. You know what I mean? Let's get the attention of Weird Al Yankovic onto the mixtapes and make Weird Al an official apes on Bean Enchiladas.
There you go.
And wouldn't that pretty much just let
Top
both of
the
us
cake.
die in peace?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, for all the fun that wasn't, and as much as you hate for us to call this to an end.
Actually, I'm going to give you one more, but it's not a Beans.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it's a Starting Linez.
Oh, okay. Race is schmixing it up here.
This is a...
Caught me off guard.
I did. Well, it's like you and your... I'm not going to tell you what this segment's going to be. This is Starting Linez. It's something that you probably know the song, but you may not remember it right off top.
Okay. Give it to me. Give it to me.
There you go. There's your first clue.
And this is the first lyric of the song?
Of the song.
The lyric is, darkness falls upon the city. And the second clue is, the smell of violence fills the air. That lyric does not ring a bell to me at all.
Okay.
Darkness falls. The smell of violence fills the air. That may be a lyric I misunderstood.
That's some really good. There's some really good lyrics in this tune. You'll want to hear this song.
Yeah.
If it doesn't ring a bell. Again, this is one that when the song came up, I'm like, oh, I remember that song. Oh, these lyrics are cool. Reed will like this. The band is Detective. They had a couple of albums.
I remember. Yeah, I remember Detective.
The song is Wild Hot Summer Nights.
I probably do know that song.
The artist is Detective. The album name was Detective. 1977, written by John Haidt and Michael Monarch. And really, in all seriousness, the thing that kind of makes this cool is the band itself, Detective, was a couple of guys that had been around. Michael Monarch, the lead guitarist, was in Steppenwolf when he was like 17 years old. Mm-hmm. And then the other guy that put the band together was Michael DeBar. He was an actor. He was in a bunch of stuff, but he was in MacGyver, a regular in MacGyver.
Really?
And he was the lead singer of this and did some other vocal stuff. He's also currently a consistent guest DJs on Underground Garage.
Oh, nice.
Little Steven's Underground Garage on Sirius XM.
Yeah. Nice.
So the band was signed by Jimmy Page to Swan Song, and Jimmy Page was supposed to produce this first album.
Yeah.
Swan Song being Zeppelin's label.
Yes.
Jimmy Page was unable to produce due to touring
demands
for the band, and so he stepped aside. They're really very, very good, and it's kind of that late 70s funky rock kind of R&B depth to it. There's a bunch of good songs by that band. I'll let you all go and find them on your own.
The song Recognition is coming to mind, but I know they had several songs off of at least a couple of those albums that were
fairly well known,
heavily radio played around here.
Yeah, I
think there was also the song of their band name, Detective, was another one that hit pretty big too.
I'm going to defer to you on that because they were not popular where I grew up.
Yeah, they were played here for sure.
But when I heard the song, I recognized the song. I had heard it before.
It's so funny. I haven't thought of them in a long time.
Yeah, I kind of thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah, that's a good one. And it's a good one to add into. I like it when we get to add some no dissing intended, some sort of obscurity. They weren't big, long-standing.
Right, when you get to share that with somebody else, get them out there.
Right. Yeah, the song Recognition was a big radio song around here. Like I said, I'm sure that there are a couple other songs that are just ghosting around in the back of my head that I know I heard on the radio. And I think I had their first album. That's so funny. I have not given them a second's thought in all these years. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay, well, I got one last one.
That's a good find. Hit one more.
It's also a Starting Linez.
Okay.
And this is here because it's a great fucking tune, and I want it on a playlist. That's why it's here.
There you go. Know it or not, whatever. I like those just as much as anything. We all get to experience it.
So there's your first clue. This is, again, Starting Linez.
The clue is, I admit you got the biggest brown eyes. This is a song about a dog. And you know how to part your lips to tantalize. Sure, I do know that lyric.
And sure is actually part of that line.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know the lyric. I'm not going to come up with the song, but the lyric is definitely familiar.
Well, it's a way back. And
you know how to part your lips to tantalize. Why does this seem like something that I recently looked at?
I don't know.
What is it?
It's I Ain't Gonna Eat Out My Heart Anymore by the Rascals.
Yeah, I remember that song.
Yeah.
I was not looking at that song recently.
Okay. And his singing on that is just really, really cool.
Rascals is a cool band to think about.
Find me one bad song.
I know, that's what
you know what I'm saying? At this point, this is the very beginning. They were called the Rascals.
Yeah.
They were later the Young Rascals.
Right.
It was a single, released as a single, and later it came out on their debut album and other collections. They didn't, there was no album when this song was released. It was just a single. Written by Pam Sawyer and Laurie Burton. And in the notes, the women had written it originally as a song for a British invasion band, and nobody grabbed it. It was covered by the Divinyls later on.
That's interesting.
And I haven't heard that version. I'm looking forward to listening to that on the playlist.
Yeah.
One of the only songs with the original lineup where Eddie Brigati sings vocals, because usually it was Felix Cavalieri.
Mm-hmm.
And I think kind of his lyrics, the way he sings it, that's kind of what gets me about the song, because it's, I love you, but you really piss me off.
Right.
And that's how he sings it.
Right,
it's like, yeah, I admit you got the biggest brown eyes. I mean, like,
Right.
he's almost spoken at the very beginning.
Right.
And he really conveys the, like, get out of my heart and get out of my head feel of the song with his
Nice.
vocals.
Very nice.
And with that, I will let it go and allow you to get this episode in under an hour.
Allow me to get this episode in an hour.
I could do this all day, man.
Okay, so could I. Hey, by the way, if anybody has any interest in us trying to ever live stream this, you know, we could take call-ins or whatever they would do on like a real live show.
Yeah.
Trying to get some
as hell.
comment input there. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
It would. I think we probably want to have another. I mean, and I'm not shooting it down at all.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about this since day one.
Yeah.
But I would like to have another guest or two under our belt because
Sure.
the advantage of having a guest or two is it kind of cleans us up a little bit.
Right.
With regard to not so much content, but just like that we don't stumble around as much.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because if we're doing it live, we can't go back and edit it, baby.
That's
you know what
right.
I'm saying?
That's the fun part. Okay, well, that brings us, I think, to the close of this episode of You Should Know This Song.
We are Mixed Apes.
We're the Mixed Apes, Race of Apes, Read of Apes, your buddies, and you're a Mixed Apes also.
Yes.
Get used to it. Don't just get used to it.
Embrace it.
Embrace it, for crying out loud. Live the Mixed Apes lifestyle, which includes things like, I'm waiting for Race to fill in
Yeah,
the
I'm trying to
blanks.
figure out
I have no idea.
what the lifestyle is. Getting lost in your own thoughts for hours at a time.
Oh, there you go.
Being shunned at parties.
Making others uncomfortable and not being able to understand why.
Not knowing when to stop talking. Those are all parts of the the Mixed Apes lifestyle.
A lack of self-awareness.
There you go.
Okay, hey, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for tuning in. Bring some friends along next time.
And please, comment if you got thoughts, because we're having fun, but it's kind of lonely in here.
Oh, stop it. It's never lonely in my head. It's crowded in here, for God's sake.
It's been fun, man. As usual, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Hope you're having a good time, too. Check out some of the charities on our website. Check out our website. Check out our playlists. And,
Here it comes.
let us know if the podcast is on your platform. Let us know if it's not on a platform you would prefer.
Yeah.
Do the follow thing, do the like thing, do the share thing, and donate to Wikipedia. I knew you were waiting for that.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
All right. Have a great day. Be great. Be nice to each other. Be good people.
Humankind. Be both.
Yes. Peace.
Later.